Sponsored by Tri-State Jeep. Good morning, Fred.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
And by the way, congratulations, Fred. Fred also picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know, Nance sounds like Scott Ritter, you know? I mean, they're so sure of their position, they won't consider anybody else's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's out spanking little boys, you know?
No, he's not doing that, Fred.
You sound jealous.
No, he didn't say spank a little sheep. So.
No, these people with these are so certain of their positions, you know, make me sick, you know? Won't consider anybody else's position.
Yeah, I hate people like that.
Right.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, we hate those people. So. The building built at the New York Stock Exchange, and it's been sponsored by Oral-B 3D XL toothbrush by Gillette. Do you have one of these, Fred?
I have an electric toothbrush. I'm not certain if I have one of those or not.
Well, maybe if you use it this week.
What would you use it on?
You can brush your tooth with it.
I probably have one of those, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You need to get one.
I'm sure I have one of them.
Yeah.
So how about the game yesterday, Fred? Where did you watch the game? Did you have a nice big Super Bowl party out there? What'd you do?
Yeah, made some nachos and made some vegetable stuff, you know?
Yeah. And who came over?
I watched the whole thing.
How many of your friends come over?
Well, not...
Huh?
Well, no. What do you mean by that?
I mean, how many friends came over your house to enjoy the Super Bowl party with you? How many people were there? How many people?
Well, we could have had a couple of drive-bys that I didn't see. But actually, nobody came to the actual door.
Nobody came?
No. But I don't like to be bothered when I'm watching a game.
Oh, of course
I'm not one of these people that like to it's
You have no
social
friends.
event.
Oh, what?
It's not a social event.
Well, 20 or 30 of your friends called, but you said, no, thank you, I'd like to watch the game by myself.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I don't want anybody over bothering me. I want to watch the game. And it's not a social event.
Have you made any new friends down there? Where are you, Granbury, Texas?
Right.
Do you have any new little friends there?
No, but I didn't have any in Santa Fe either, you know. So, I mean, I got to thinking, well, why would I come down here and make a bunch of new friends when I didn't have any up there?
Well, you maybe turned over a new leaf or
Who
something.
needs people in your house complaining about a stench? It's very annoying.
I like that Budweiser commercial was the best.
Which one was that?
That Clydesdale, where they had the Clydesdale and the zebra.
Yeah.
That was by far the best.
That was funny.
I don't even remember it. You got to be honest.
What was that one?
The Clydesdales were playing football, and the zebra went up, did the instant replay and stuck its head in the instant replay thing, you know, into the hood deal. It was funny.
Really?
That was the number one. I noticed here it's the number one. Yeah, Anheuser-Busch dominates with the...
Was that the number one?
Yeah, number one was the Anheuser-Busch's, as it's called here, replay.
What was number
Yeah.
two?
Probably the Ozzy Osbourne deal.
Did you realize, did you watch the halftime show?
Yes, I did.
Did you realize that Shania Twain was lip-syncing?
No.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't tell. I mean, it didn't cross my mind to try to figure it out, but it didn't occur to me that she was.
There was one part.
I would have had, if it had been me doing it, I would have had Santana and Bon Jovi doing the halftime.
Bon Jovi?
Yeah, I like him.
Oh, my God. He is horrid.
Is?
Well, if you like him, that's fine. But
how about Carlos Santana, man? That guy's a legend.
Yeah.
He should have been. They should have definitely had him doing the halftime situation.
I don't know. I mean, it's just... I keep thinking of Cheech and Chong every time I see him up there playing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's absolutely a legend.
No, I know he's great, but I just keep thinking he's going to take out a joint about the size of a broomstick and fire it up, you know?
Hey, man, it's the Super Bowl!
All right, Fred, thanks.
Well, I got to switch gears now, no pun intended, but we got NASCAR coming up, you know?
Well... try to know where the races are, okay?
Yeah, well, we got Daytona coming up the 16th of February.
What happens before then?
Well, nothing. They're down there practicing now. In fact, I was on the freeway yesterday, and I saw a Hendricks Motorsport trailer going by.
Didn't that season just end? Seems like it was just last week.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
It does seem like it.
Time flies,
NASCAR
you know,
again?
time flies.
Darrell Waltrip again?
Take a break.
Darrell Waltrip and Fred. Hey, how you doing, Fred? Oh, I'm all right.
Oh, no, that's not starting again.
All right,
Oh, my
Fred,
God.
thanks.
I like
Talk to you
Jim
later.
Gordon.
21 till the hour here to have some program.
Oh, no, I don't like him.
Where'd you get that Soprano T-shirt, Sid?
Oh, God, no.
Actually, I got this from HBO. They sent it to me.
Hey, Rob got me a Superman T-shirt, but Deirdre told me it's bad luck to wear them.
What? Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
You mean Superman specifically, or just any action hero sweatshirt?
No, Superman.
Superman
Really?
specifically.
Oh, because Christopher Reeves ended up... Oh, right, and George Reeves died. Christopher Reeves is a vegetable. So, she's probably right, yeah. Yeah, you probably should stay away from that. I mean, you're well on your way anyway. Why wear the sweatshirt now?
You're an idiot. Here's Sally from Illinois on line 1. Morning, Sally.
Hi. In our litigious society, I was wondering if one of those rioters shows up at a hospital with a burned hand from setting fire to McDonald's, what's going to happen? Does he sue McDonald's? Or does he sue the Raiders for losing the Super Bowl and making him mad?
Both, probably.
I think you sue them both.
Sue the I-Man for giving Tampa the courage to win.
I don't know, Sally. You're overthinking this, so baby.
Bye.
Who's your daddy? Ah, man, I don't know that.
Jesus.
And quick enough today, man.
What?
There wasn't another reason to root for the Raiders. Who knew this was going to happen?
No, but you guys... No. No. But you guys...
Play this tape. Get that
What would
tape
you
on
have
that
done
guy.
to me today had the Tampa Bay been humiliated?
They would have killed you.
You would have killed me.
Absolutely true.
Wouldn't you?
Yep.
No.
No.
No, Lou.
I never kill you.
You already had the tape pulled.
No, because I didn't want to do the work this morning. I just wanted to make sure we had it.
You son of a... You little
No,
rat.
I would have been fine. Or the guy already made an idiot.
You were so forlorn.
No.
I got to be honest. I think you've actually been very, very humble about your correct.
You are such a...
I really do.
You are... Get out of my face. You make me sick.
And now it's time for America's favorite daytime fun show, Let's Make a Dope Deal. Yes, Let's Make a Dope Deal, where young pushers try to parlay their stash into that really big connection and jump up into dealerhood. And our first contestant today on Let's Make a Dope Deal is former head of the philosophy department at Harvard University. Okay, you ready to play our game?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Now, you know the rules. You get fronted with a stash of 50 keys, and you can wager part of them or just some of them on any one of our tests.
50 keys?
50 keys.
Can I quit now?
No, not yet. You have to play our game. Okay, how many want to wager on the first test?
All of them.
All of them is going to shoot the works on main line, as we call it here on Let's Make a Dope Deal. Okay, for 50 keys. What is your name? You have 60 seconds.
Hey, I know that one. Father, what is it, man?
I knew when I came in here, man. Don't tell me. Happy birthday.
10 seconds.
Famous in the morning.
The following conversation is real. It took place on November 27th.
Arch, Heritage for the Blind. Call 1-800-2-DONATE for hassle-free pickup. Remember 1-800-2-DONATE or visit taxdeduction.com.
Ma'am.
I'm Lori McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
13 till the hour. You know, the reason I'm hammering all these people that's winning these football deals, but one very good reason, and that is that they're also arrogant about their predictions, particularly Mad Dog and Nance. Francesa's, he picks them, and that's pretty much, he has an opinion, but at least he's not condescending and patronizing about it. But Mad Dog, that sniveling pencil neck weasel, and Nance is just he's a disgraceful human being who should be deported. I mean, it's just back to Yuppie land, wherever he's from.
I'm surprised.
Yuppie-Slavia. I mean, what a dope. But they paint themselves into a corner, and they're by not allowing for there being any other possibility. As Charles just said when we were off the air, it's because stuff happens. People get hurt. People get afraid. People get scared, like the Oakland Raiders obviously were.
People get tired.
Big fat tubs of blubber who couldn't suck it up and couldn't get it done. And it's not like the Oakland. It's not like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers players were all my size, 160 pounds. They maybe weighed 20 or 30 pounds less than these other fat tubs of blubber sucking steroids or whatever they're doing. So. They're good players. They're world-class football players.
They're in the NFL.
So, and they ran them ragged, and they made fools of them. Did you see what even that fat loudmouth Warren Sapp is I mean, it was just
Killed him. And you know what? The Buccaneers the last 2 weeks, had held San Francisco and Philadelphia to 16 points.
Obviously,
I
lucked out in my.
No. You figured it out, man.
Be quiet.
Okay.
Obviously, I lucked out, but the point is, I certainly allowed for another possibility.
Well, you
I mean, I
guaranteed.
just picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I did guarantee him, but I acknowledged how foolish that was to guarantee a sporting event. I mean, I guaranteed it with the caveat that as much as you can guarantee one of these things, which you can. But you can't be like Mad Dog. You know, they're not the Chicago Bears. Well, I mean, he's just he revealed himself to be the know-nothing buffoon that he is, and it's high time that Francesa rid himself of this menace.
Really? Well, then who would he do the show with?
It won't be you. Francesa would put up with you for about 2 seconds. Well, you'd be more respectful to Francesa, which is what she deserves. But he was wrong, too, but at least he wasn't. I didn't get the sense that he was arrogant about it. Did you, Charles, or did you?
No, I think you're wrong about that.
I think you need to listen to it again.
Yeah,
I think
really?
Yeah.
There was an air of, I hate to say condescension, but he was very, very certain of himself.
The music aside.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He even used a word. He said there'll be a word you'll say on Monday.
Okay, everybody
And-
give
The
it.
cal- what
No,
was
it was not.
Out
They got
physical.
out physical.
Not even a real word.
out physical them. They out physical them.
Word of the day. Word of the day.
Word of the day. They out physical them.
Trying to out Russo with that word.
You're like, you're right.
You're right. They're both a couple of fools.
They were out physical completely.
But the worst example
Never
of a
misunderestimate.
patronizing, condescending, bootlicking schmuck was that Hootie Johnson butt boy, Jim Nance. That was disgraceful. He owes me an apology.
He does.
Absolutely.
And not on this show. I would have him do it on the next big CBS event, which could be the Masters.
I'd
whatever
rather
it
have
is.
it where people listen.
That's
I'd rather have 10 million people rather than 2 million or 100,000 people watching a golf tournament, frankly, or a million or whatever it is.
Be careful.
No, he needs to do it here on this program.
Easy, Sidney. Back off.
In an effort to just crawl deeper into the Ironman's buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
Shoot yourself in the foot.
You blew that.
if you're going to hammer me, do it the way Bernard does. You're much better hammering me.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it's...
Well, I can't today because you kind of helped me out. I was facing a suspension, and if not for you, then who knows? I could have gotten fired today. So.
Oh, but you're going to get fired next time you pull this.
No, well,
Because I recommended that to the station.
That's up for debate.
It's not up for debate here.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
You got to believe me on this
If
one.
you don't believe, I've known Chernoff for 15 years. If you don't believe Chernoff, you're wrong. You're making a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not to be trifled with.
Absolutely. That's a tough guy.
No, he's a very nice guy and very mild-mannered.
Right.
He'll out physical you.
But he will out-physical you.
That's right.
You're fired. Till tomorrow.
Just about every day now, people credit report online instantly. Make sure you get the credit you deserve with freecreditreport.com.
Copyright 2003, Infinity Broadcasting. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN, Westwood One Entertainment.
Imus in the morning, Mac and Sid in middays, Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon, Steve Summers at night, and Joe Beningo overnights. We're the only station that talks New York sports all day and all night. That's why we're your flagship station for New York sports. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minka.
Richard Price's Samaritan is a great book. Is a great book. And I don't know why it's not doing better, but I mean, he is...
Ought to be.
God, he and Don DeLillo, and man, Richard Price, he's even better than DeLillo. He's a genius. And this is a great book. I mean, you will love this book.
Yep.
I don't want to seem stupid here.
You'd like this if
I
you
gotta
ever
ask
read
you.
a book.
Well, who is Richard Price? I'm just...
God, please shut up. I'm begging
You know, he's the black comedian who now has, Richard
Yeah.
Price.
Yeah.
You guy was, set himself on fire.
You know the guy.
Imus in the morning!
The left half of my butt is swollen.
Really?
Half of my butt looks like my wife.
The other half looks like your face.
Imus in the morning.
You really are an a-hole.
I've been beat down, broken, used, mother. I drank with Hank, talked blues with Billy, rocked with Bun, sang the shotgun Willie. Went from small-time Billy to big-time Bobby, from 3-day-old chili to sake with wasabi. I'm home. You never met a mother
You're right.
I'm pretty much up for anything.
In eastbound on Route 46 at Route 21, the two right lanes are blocked off by an accident and fuel spill. This report's brought to you by Pep Boys. Hurry to Pep Boys for a free $50 gift card when you buy 4 of Pep Boys' top quality Futura tires. See store for details. Hurry in. Offer ends Monday. Pep Boys, the car people. I'm Lori McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
And now, the further adventures of Iraqi and Bullwinkle. When we last left Moose and Saddam, they were in downtown propaganda brand new Baghdad, preparing for a showdown with United States President George Ambush.
Hey, Iraqi. Nice Toshiba.
Oh, thanks, Bullwinkle. I've been doing power squats in the gym to firm up my glutes.
No, I mean the TV.
Oh, right. I knew that. I had it delivered by the great Satan's address.
Then how come they brought it here? Isn't his address 1600 Pennsylvania Dutch Avenue?
No. I mean his State of the Union address.
Is that like a post office box?
After that inflammatory statement by semicolon power, there will be much attention paid to us. Apparently, they are about to declassify some intelligence.
Good. Nothing worse than classy smart people.
No, Bullwinkle. I mean they are going to reveal secret information.
No wonder he's the great Satan. Nobody likes a guy who can't keep a secret. So what's so secret anyway?
Evidence to suggest we have been moving and concealing banned weapon systems.
But we are moving and concealing banned weapon systems. That's no secret.
That's why we are going to hijack President Ambush's television transmission and replace it with our own broadcast.
Oh, goody! I hope it's Survivor al-Basra.
No, you are going to impersonate President Ambush and read the script I have prepared. Do you think you can do it?
Do it? This is my big break. I'll open with a song.
No song. You sing song, I shoot moose. Okie dokie. Here we go. And now, Mr. Speaker, pleased to be welcoming President George Ambush.
My fellow Americans, the State of the Union is strong. Oh yeah, I was wrong about Iraq. They have no weapons of mass destruction. And now, here's an oldie but goodie. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Iraq, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
And so, once again, the best laid plans of Moose and men go astray. Tune in again next week when our stalwart heroes prepare for imminent invasion.
Hey, Iraqi, does this flak jacket make me look fat?
6 minutes to the hour here in the Irish Morning Program. Time for sports. And with that is Sid Rosenberg. Good morning, Sid.
Good morning, I'm in. Big
So
story.
you are taking steroids, aren't
What?
you?
What are you talking about?
Big what? Trotzy
First
got
of all,
fired. That's the end.
Yeah,
And the next
forget
one.
about that.
Nobody cares.
What is this nonsense
Look
you were
at you.
saying earlier about me and mood swings?
Just look
I
at
am the
you.
most friendliest, nicest.
No, you weren't.
good mood guy. Don't tell me no, I'm not. I absolutely am. I'm in a good mood all the time. I am never in a bad mood in this place.
I've
Not
seen
ever.
you out there with
Listen to him already.
How about yesterday? You were on your knees, crying, sobbing,
Oh, what?
begging forgiveness from
Yes,
Chris Carlin.
that's
which
not the way it
well,
went.
so, yeah, it is the way.
That's not the way it went.
Excuse me, I witnessed it.
What
I
happened,
was
Charles?
sitting there.
You were seeing things.
What happened?
I was at. I said, Chris, please, I'm sorry.
You apologize to Chris Carlin?
Well,
I'm
Which,
really-
incidentally,
no,
you should have done.
No, Chris, I'm really, really sorry.
I only apologized once because the fact is,
on and on.
no, I did not go on it. Listen, I'm always in a good mood, but now you started getting my dander up a little bit. I recommend you don't do that, Charles.
No,
Bad
well,
nothing.
what
Constantly
are you-
on my bad side.
Oh, really? What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything,
I am
you
about
beady-eyed rodent.
about this much away, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm throwing everybody around in this studio like rag dolls. I am this close. This close.
Well, you really are.
I'm in a good mood. I'm fine. Everything's great.
You look like a blowfish.
What's that? Why don't you get up and say that to my face? You feel nice and safe while you're 15 feet across. How about I throw you right through that window back there? How about that, Charles? How about that?
Why don't you do that?
Take a pill. Yeah, okay.
Are you a Survivor fan? Are you already gearing up for the Amazon? Then head down to your local Saturn retailer and pick up a free DVD copy of Inside the Tribe. It's new, it's free, and it's the only...
Fire broke out this morning, but flames and heavy smoke are billowing from a 3-story warehouse. That's all we got on it at the moment.
It'd be rather can lead to CBS Evening News for that tonight.
It could very well. Mayor Bloomberg says the mishandled 911 call from the 4 kids, the teenagers, sinking in a small rowboat on Long Island Sound.
How was it mishandled?
Shows that more training for emergency operators is needed. Bloomberg says it appears that the 911 operator didn't understand the 12-second call. She was apparently was a rookie, and her supervisor then didn't handle the information correctly when it was passed on. On Friday night, one of the teens placed a 911 call from a cell phone as the rowboat he and his friends were in began taking on water. Police officials have recommended, in fact, disciplinary action for the 911 supervisor because he didn't notify the police harbor unit of the call that had been kicked up, to him from this person who didn't have a lot of experience on the job. The police department's 911 operators receive 8 weeks of training.
He never notified the harbor people?
Didn't notify the police harbor unit.
Who do you notify? Anybody?
I don't know. The police, yes, people were notified. I mean,
From enforcement against Saddam Hussein.
Here in what, 8 minutes?
Probably.
Then let's talk fast.
Well,
but, are you nervous? Doesn't it seem kind of funny that we've had great powers in the world and great wars, and Russia and Japan against us, and Germany, and the Russo-Japanese War in England, and now Iraq?
Well, I don't go around quaking in fear, but we were talking about, but I do. But certainly since the World Trade Center incident,
Yeah.
I think you have to entertain the possibility that...
Because it won't entertain you.
I mean, I think this, I actually think our security's better only because, not because of anything the government's done, although I think they probably made an effort, but because all of us are paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody pointed out you now have 280 million eyes, sets of eyes, looking around, seeing what's going on, and you have evidence every day of somebody reporting somebody or some suspicious conversation or some moron making a joke about something, they arrest him, you know. So I don't know if that's particularly good or not, but...
And don't you feel like that it'll be nice to have... Yeah. Won't it be nice if Powell or somebody can unplug the stop drain about if there's evidence, why don't we see it? If there's evidence, why don't the inspectors have it? If they have it, why haven't they found the things? And I was told by a friend who just came back from Europe that you feel like a Jew in Germany, in Europe, if you're an American these days. They are so hating our president and all the old phrases about America thinking it owns the world.
Well, they've always hated us, but it's just
Yeah,
now
a lot
that we
of
don't
it's
have as
jealousy.
much money to spend there, why?
Yeah.
And the tourism has dropped off, why? They can demonstrate it, of course. More
But Hussein has plenty of
aggressively.
money to spend, and they don't... Do they really like him there? These people you see demonstrating when the pictures of our beloved leader and all that, is that...
Saddam Hussein?
Can that be real? Because everyone tells you what a wretched condition the country's in and the people are in. Who are those folks who love him so?
Well, I think they've been encouraged to go out and demonstrate, don't you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Did I hear you say earlier when I was standing mother naked out of the shower, it's so weird. There I was, and here I am. I never get over the wonders of television. Did I hear you say, what was it, something about somebody should, maybe a special effects department, or someone should, yes, what was that? Was that you, or was that Stern?
Should phony up the evidence?
Yeah.
Oh, that's me.
Why not? You know, I mean, why not fake it up?
I was talking to Andrea Mitchell, and she said they're going to suspect it's phony anyway. I said, well, then
go for it.
Then why don't you get your iMac out and have Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden having lunch?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the police know how to plant evidence on people. Some of them, I should say.
Send Mark Furman over there.
Yeah.
Straw minutes until they are.
Now wait a minute. Imus in the morning.
Question for you. Are you in your car behind the wheel right now? Is there anything in your car...
280 is crawling to exit 53 due to a collision in the left lane. Traffic is backed up for over 3 miles. This report's brought to you by Pep Boys. Hurry to Pep Boys for a free $50 gift card when you buy 4 of Pep Boys' top quality Futura tires. See store for details. Hurry in. Offer ends Monday. Pep Boys, the car people. I'm Lori McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
It is 8 minutes till the hour. Rob Bartlett, who continues to star as Amos Hart in Chicago on Broadway, is also going to be at the Community Theater in Morristown, New Jersey, for the big 6th annual Valentine's Day show that would be on, well, of course, Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th. And at the Paramount Theater in Peekskill, New York on Saturday, March 1st for another situation there with the Bartletts, and he's obviously a fine fellow. I asked him how John Riley, who plays Amos Hart in the movie Chicago.
I have not seen it.
I asked Rob how he was. I said, is he better than you? And Rob said, yes. He's fabulous.
Really?
He said it's just unbelievable. So
admire. Seems to be unanimous almost.
But Rob, have you seen Rob? Have you seen Rob in Chicago?
Not in Chicago, no.
God, he's great. He redeemed himself from that awful Broadway thing he did, you know, that was...
Oh, yes.
More to Love, which was... God, that's one of the most vicious reviews I've ever read of anything.
Oh, that was rough.
Even outdid Frank Rich.
Oh, you'd think he'd must have strangled a puppy on stage or something from the way they...
Well, he would have gotten a better review, wouldn't he?
Had he strangled a puppy?
Yes.
No doubt.
The poor guy.
But he even redeemed himself in the New York Times.
He's back at bat.
Yeah. He gets the most sustained applause in the show.
Spontaneous, sustained
Yeah,
applause.
He's a wonderful
He's
performer.
terrific. Yeah, he is.
An arsenal of talent, as they used to say.
What are you doing now?
Oh, I do Imus every now and then. That's what I tell people. Let's see, what am I doing now? I'm doing some writing. Getting into the New Yorker so floored me that I've decided that I have to be modest and just go back to the typewriter and just do some more of that. And an occasional gig.
Well, that
here and
magazine
there.
is so much better since Remnick's been there. It's frightening. I mean, I actually read it every
Wonderful.
week now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that along with Time and Newsweek, and I just start all three of them I go through.
Did you know the notorious Tina Brown?
No, I did not.
The lady head of it?
No.
I saw her in a restaurant once.
The magazine was horrible when she was
sitting with a
running
friend of mine from Time. And she was at the next table, and she gets up to go with the gentleman she's with. And I went over and said, Miss Brown, my name's Dick Cavett. And she didn't seem to register much. And I told her 2 ideas for cartoons for the New Yorker and said, where would I send these? She heard the first one and didn't laugh. Heard the second one and got even more stony.
What was the first one?
And then I kind of stood there for a moment not knowing what to do. And she said, you're who again?
It's not good, Dick.
It was the most devastating.
I mean, she must have thought you were just some mental patient.
Yeah.
What was the idea for the cartoon?
Oh, okay. Well, one of them was driving out to Long Island in the spring. You always start to see the signs where you can pick your own fruit and sort of various things, and pick your own strawberries. And I thought it would be funny to have a sign that said, pick your own strawberries and leave ours the hell alone. That didn't... Charles liked it a lot more than she did.
It's not awful, is it?
No, it's not awful.
No, it's not bad.
I don't remember the other one. And there was a cartoon in the New Yorker once that has haunted me for 20 years, perhaps. Full page, circus tent. There's a man in the background with an elephant. In the foreground is a clown way up high on a pole blowing a horn, loudly, presumably. And the caption is, from the guy with the elephant, can't you see that I'm training an elephant? Now, would someone tell me just exactly what I'm missing there?
I don't know.
It's 4 minutes to the hour. Dick's going to hang around. You know, I've had an idea for a New Yorker cartoon as well. And I'll tell you that.
Will you?
Yeah, I will. It's coming up.
Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Derek Cope, race car driver and TV analyst. You've probably heard me talk about Avacor.
Idea for my New Yorker cartoon.
Okay.
2 boxers are in a ring in a gym. They both have headgear on. And one of them's cowering in the corner with his hands up above his face. And the trainer says, we got to work on your stance, champ. Here's Chuck for the Nasty Morning, Charles.
It's not bad,
I can't get anybody to draw it for me. So.
It could be a blackout on a variety show.
Work on your stance, champ.
Quickly, Iron Man, couple of the headlines. I guess while the threat is arguable, the threat may or may not be imminent, but there's a report out of Russia that says the war is. The Interfax news agency quotes an unidentified Russian military source now, is saying the United States will announce a decision to launch a war on Iraq within 3 weeks from this day. Source says the Bush administration will make a formal decision to strike right after the U.S. military and its allies finish mobilizing in the Gulf region, as Jim Mikolashevsky was suggesting would be possible this morning to put 250,000 troops into the Gulf area. The agency quotes the source as saying a war in Iraq could start sometime during the last 10 days of February. Source says military action would start with a day or two of strikes from the air and sea, followed by a ground invasion. No U.S. reaction yet to this report from the Russian Interfax news agency.
Yeah, this is probably naive, but one would think that you could go find him, if he's the problem, Saddam Hussein appears to be, that the CIA or somebody, you could just go... You could get Bo Dietl's agency. You could go find him and just kill him. Why do we need to do it? I admit that's maybe naive, but...
Maybe. And you notice how carefully they are. They never mention him anymore. Certainly the president didn't. Someone bet someone $1 million that he would not mention him in the State of the Union.
Oh, no, I don't mean Osama bin Laden. I mean Saddam Hussein.
Oh, to go kill Hussein.
Yeah.
We've been led to believe that should be easy with all the experience we have in the World War II and espionage.
He has 4 or 5 doubles, you know.
But then did you see...
So you kill a half dozen people.
Was it Maureen Dowd who revealed that the CIA has taken an ad in the magazine addressed to the noble people of that world, and we'd like to have you work with us, perhaps, if you know the language.
That's nothing new.
Now they think of it after all this stuff.
No, but she's wrong about that.
No,
They've been doing that for years.
Have they?
Absolutely.
I thought at one time they said they only had one.
Oh, it may have been, but this has been going on for
Arab-speaking.
This has been going on for several years, and
trying to recruit people.
Oh, the recruiting.
Well, yeah, fluent in Arabic.
Oh, I wonder why should it be hard to find.
Because she's clearly drinking again, or whatever. Or she's doing something. She's medicated, but she's off. I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. She's
off the tracks.
I almost can't read her columns anymore. I get so annoyed. She's one note all the time. I don't know. I miss Frank. What do you think of Frank, by the way, going to the Frank Rich?
Yes. I genuinely look forward to every other Saturday to read Frank Rich. You know, I thought I was always, is this the right Saturday? Oh,
yeah.
No. And what a writer. And
I read Bill Keller, but it's just not the same.
No, but I like Bill Keller very much.
Well, I don't know. He's going to have a column on the front page of the Arts and Leisure section, but I don't know when I'm going to get to that. Well, you'll get to it because it's Frank, and you'll see what he's doing.
You will go. You're absolutely right.
Have you seen Jimmy Kimmel Live?
No, I haven't. Am I the only one?
No, he's very funny. The show is just awful. Oh, my God, it's awful.
They've burdened him with a mess.
It's awful. I mean,
But he's funny.
No, he's funny.
Yeah.
And it may work because of that.
Yeah.
But, God, it's awful.
I thought he was funny the only other time I saw him, or the only time I guess I saw him. But it was some time ago. What is it? The format is unwieldy, or they've tricked
No, it's
it up
exactly
too much,
like
or...
Letterman or Leno.
Oh.
You know, he's behind a desk, or you, or Parr, or Carson, or all you guys used to do.
Was it snowing on him the other night?
Yes, he did that. You did see it.
I thought I did see that. That's right. I tell a lie. I did see that. And I was half asleep.
Yeah.
Hadn't been drinking. And I was cogent, and I watched, and I wondered, he must be cursing the bastard who could turn that snow off backstage with the flick of a hand. It ain't funny after 20 minutes.
He had Snoop Dogg on.
Oh, yeah.
And The Rock, the wrestler, and Al Michaels. And it was...
Michaels.
He's a funny guy. But
was Snoop the one sitting there throwing snow at him?
Yes.
Snow in the legitimate sense. Yeah.
What were you saying now, Charles, about we're going to do what to somebody Kohu?
Well, that was just the Interfax news agency suggesting that that the war could be as little as 3 weeks' time away.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Saddam Hussein take this entree that's been offered and say Mermaid and just go someplace? St. Bart's, Susan Sarandon's house.
Yeah. He has a spare room.
We could get him a deal on a place in the Hamptons, particularly this time of year.
Certainly.
So
I don't know.
You could stay at Billy Joel's. Well, Billy Joel's at the car repair or whatever he's going to do. Do you know him?
Yes. Oh, yes.
How's he? He's
tangled with a tree the other night in his wheels. Yeah.
What would he have to be? I mean, I understand drinking doesn't. People used to ask me, so why do you drink and do drugs? You don't seem like you have anything to be unhappy about. And they were right. I didn't, so I stopped.
Yeah.
But I mean, at some point you realize it's enough. It's so stupid.
Yeah. So. I have no idea in his case. I know that part of the island has tricky turns, and there are times when I've been, that awful thing you hate to confess, but you have actually started to nod off while driving, and then it gives you such a jolt of adrenaline that it carries you for the next 20 minutes at least. I have a feeling that's probably what happened to him. Don't know.
Reports out that he was talking about Billy Joel's car accident in the Mercedes S600, which has 12 cylinders and can get up to about 140 miles an hour. The new one I have, the turbo, can do 160. I mean, first time Dave and I drove it, I pulled out of the driveway in Westport. It was like 10 degrees out, and the road was a little icy. And I just put my foot on the gas, and it just went into a tailspin nearly. It's so powerful. See, I mean, it's a car you got to be careful with, but it goes way too fast.
I love to skid. In driver training in Lincoln High School in Lincoln, Nebraska, I was taught how to turn into a skid.
Right.
And it makes you crazy when you can't explain it to some woman, to some other person.
Right.
My father said, I've never known a woman who could back up a car. He was the early sexist. But to skid and then turn into that skid and then have it turn to the other side and return into that, you feel like you're really doing something. Don't do this, boys and girls, just for fun.
Try this.
Now, this weekend, it's 12 minutes after the hour, talking with Dick Cavett and Charles doing the news, and we're fooling around. Tony Blair's going to be at Camp David this weekend. Why do I think, not just Tony Blair, but almost anybody, except perhaps for Margaret Thatcher, that anybody who has anything to do with either the royal family or the government in Britain has some kind of weird sex life?
You know, I can't really help you yet with that question, and yet I can.
It goes back to the Profumos
I can
scandal,
contribute to it.
Okay.
I've wanted you to cue me into this ever since I've known you.
Okay.
When I was a sophomore at an Eastern Ivy League school, my English teacher said, you ought to go someday over to hear such and such a professor in the law school. He's a great wit. And I thought, maybe his idea of wit and mine aren't the same.
Right.
I went over and the old fellow came out, and he was amusing. And then a little more amusing. And then once he opened to questions, and one kid said, Professor Rapley, could you really give an example of distinction without a difference? And he said, Englishmen and homosexuals. Oh, that deserves a wider audience, and I'm glad you helped me.
That's a good line, huh?
I mean, it's awful. It's bigoted. It's
it's everything. But 14
incorrect.
after the hour.
I'm throwing myself at the mercy of the court at this time, and I'm asking to please be allowed back into the inner circle.
Bark like a dog.
Cluck like a chicken.
You can cluck like a chicken or meow like a little kitty.
Cluck like a chicken or meow like a kitty.
Right.
And then I'm allowed back into the studio.
Right.
All right. Are you ready? I'll do it.
Okay.
Meow.
Oh, that is disgraceful, Sid. Honest to God, I mean,
Can you ever recover?
Imus in the morning.
wait till I tell Wyatt.
Oh, don't tell Wyatt.
Wyatt's in school.
Wyatt. No, don't tell
Wait till I'll
He
see.
loves me.
In fact, I'm picking him up today.
Don't tell him. I'm begging you to throw the tape out. I mean, I'll do whatever you want. Just throw it. Well, I shouldn't say that, I guess.
No, you shouldn't.
Another lending success story from LendingTree.com.
Home equity line of credit rates are generally pretty low.
A two-car hit. Eastbound 80 just about at a standstill and sporadically being shut down between I-80 and Exit 1, and that's due to a serious accident involving a tractor-trailer and two cars, one of the cars under the tractor-trailer. This report's brought to you by Trim Spa. One report has already lost 45 pounds in 3 months with patented Trim Spa. Shed pounds safely. Visit trimspa.com or call 1-800-TRIM-SPA. Available at Dwayne Reed, Eckerd's, and GNC.
Sure.
I'm Laurie McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
20 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning program, we're having a discussion with Dick Cavett. We did off the air about the president's inability to say nuclear. He pronounces it nuclear. And I sometimes have a mental block about it. I can't.
I wonder if by
I think he did say nuclear the other night, though.
If he did, it was a
nuclear.
mistake. Yeah.
But does it mean anything that he can't pronounce it?
It might show certain inattentiveness to detail and to the facts. I suppose it's not as bad as... I suppose technically if he ordered up a nuclear attack, the person would be able to say, is that anything like, sir, a regular nuclear attack?
Why wouldn't somebody say something to him?
Why doesn't his dear wife tell him how embarrassing it is?
Bozo.
I guess they...
You know she doesn't say it.
We have America Online. There's a message available here on the Emerson Morning program. And we received the following. Dick Cavett looks strikingly like George Bush on MSNBC. No.
Gophers always
Dick.
tell me that.
Here's another.
When they bring in the coffee.
Dick Cavett is the best guest you ever had. He is witty, urbane, and intelligent. He stands up from the rest of the rabble you usually have, like Al Sharpton at a library, which is unnecessary and offensive to me to attack the person I'm supporting for the presidency.
Thank you, Aunt Esther.
You finally hit it on the nose. All your adjectives concerning Parcells are correct, but one word sums it up: phony. And believe me, most Giant, Jet, Tampa Bay, Patriot fans feel the same way. Not sure about your stand on Nance and poor old Rather, but the fat SOB, you hit right on the nose.
It's nice to know there are folks out there with such nice turns of phrase. Do you save any really far-out hate mail that you've gotten as an artifact?
Oh, no, I guess I have. No, I don't.
Yeah?
No, I don't. I generally don't even read it.
My best was from Waco, Texas.
I get a lot of them. I'm a you Jew and loving
Oh, yeah.
I get a lot of that, but other than that, then
witty ones.
Yes, but what were you going to say?
Yeah. I just remember one day I went in my office, and I guess I'd had Jane Fonda on, perhaps. Someone controversial. It was during the Vietnam thing and so on. Brought in a lot of nasty mail.
Sure.
There was one piece she said, I don't know if I ought to show you this or not. And I said, oh, God, yes, I love it. It was a telegram form, but in red crayon. It had been lettered and then put into an envelope. You little sawed-off faggot communist shrimp. That was the opening. And then it got insulting.
The salutation is.
Yeah, sawed-off faggot communist shrimp. I wrote back, I am not sawed off.
22 after almost 23 after they are here on the I Miss the Morning program. Do you watch anything like these, The Bachelor, American Idol?
No, I saw whatever the first one was, where they were on the island, and
Survivor.
The gay guy kept taking his pants off.
Yeah.
And I noticed that it had a certain crude appeal of danger, what might happen next.
Right.
Obviously, they're letting in things you wouldn't see on television 10 years ago, and so on and so on.
An 80-person film crew, of course, about 12 feet away, but
yeah, right.
whatever. You know, then
all alone.
Peril
on
that's
the
there.
island.
Right. Eating Big Macs.
Yeah.
I saw the excruciating one. It was so
Fear Factor.
awful. It gave you a...
They ate worms. I've never seen that, nor would I.
No,
I mean, I know about it
John-
because I've seen the promo.
Yeah.
But
John McEnroe there looking aghast when the crocodile or the alligator was lowered to the person who tried to keep his breath down or whatever. God. Whatever happened to Dinah Shore?
Well, there are actors who resurrect their careers
Your show of shows.
with these shows.
Well,
I mean,
there's now one-
or at least they're not A-list actors, but
Yeah, there's now, what is it? There's one about being a has-been, and the
Yes.
word is in the title or
Right.
something that they have coming along.
Yeah.
oh, there is.
Oh, yeah. Kind of. They're throwing 7, not even B-list any longer. People who've been dropped from the B-list, actors or entertainers together in some kind of a, I don't
that
know,
would be
reality situation.
Demi or Demi Moore, and
No, it's even
Gary
I
Coleman.
think it's beyond that.
Oh, it is.
I believe it is.
Deanna Durbin? No, it's too late for that. Probably. They say she's still alive somewhere.
I want to sit through Biker Boys with Kid Rock. That's my next goal.
What's meant to be the appeal of the newest ones? Are they breaking new ground?
They're enormously popular.
Yeah.
In fact, front page of the New York Times the other day, talking about how, I mean, it may be, someone suggested that it might, that it might result in what happened with the stock market when everybody jumped on the .com bandwagon.
Yeah.
But they're inexpensive, obviously, to produce, and like I saw a little bit of American Idol last night, where these people come out and they sing. They have several hundred of them, or I guess thousands, and they have 3 judges: Paula Abdul, a fat black guy, and a guy named Simon. The guy named Simon is vicious.
Oh, yes.
And he tells these people.
Oh, yeah.
I know of this.
And he's accurate, by the way.
And has become a celebrity in his own right through his viciousness.
Right. And you're
That'll be popular.
You're fat and you can't sing. Get out.
Yeah.
That's essentially his.
He sticks to the facts.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
And these people, and some of these people are as delusional, for example, as our own Sid Rosenberg, who's convinced that he's convinced that he's everything. But
I ran into Sid. He was trying to fly a kite in the office.
I'm not surprised at all. He's a troubled individual, and he goes to the same gym we do over at Gold's Gym over here in Queens.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a serious gym. It's nobody with headbands or leg warmers there. They're people who are serious. Guys working out with, I've seen guys, they're working out with 85-pound dumbbells. 85-pound dumbbells.
My
The
God.
guys who could bench press a car.
Yes.
You'd have to be one to use an 85-pound dumbbell.
And there is a suspicion that some of them take steroids.
Yeah.
And Sid suddenly, just almost overnight, got enormous, didn't he?
He has ballooned.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Through his upper body.
I wasn't sure it was Sid for sure. Is that all from heft and?
That's from
working
taking
out?
steroids and pumping a little iron, right?
Yeah.
Steroids are wicked.
How much iron do you have to? How much steroids do you have to take? How much iron do you have to pump if you take steroids?
You know, I don't know, but he has accomplished this in about a 3-week period. Month, maybe?
Right.
That he's gotten this big?
Because he looked in fairly good shape before, but now he has violent mood swings.
Right.
And,
Yep.
And he's all pumped up, but he looks beady-eyed, rodent-like, and enormously...
And we suspect his genitalia is shrinking, because that is something...
How can we find out?
Well, we suspect that.
Well?
Because if you're doing that much, steroids...
Mercy.
That's a problem. Can be a problem.
Perhaps you should take him into the woodshed and have a talk with him.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
You wouldn't think he would want to endure a shrinking genitalia, considering what he was starting with. I'm told. 27 after the hour.
Saddam Hussein, for the sake of peace, must disarm. And if he refuses to disarm, if he tries to deceive his way out of disarmament, this nation, along with other willing nations, will disarm Saddam Hussein.
Sounded like he'd had a couple of drinks here, didn't he? Sounded like me reading a commercial. After the hour in New York, what's the temperature, Charles?
26 degrees, dude.
Mike Oster of Friendly Motors, 134 Old Post Road.
Hey, there's a new name in suspense. Available in hardcover and as a Time Warner audiobook from Warner Books.
Right here now on the Imus in the Morning program, the former President of the United States, Bill Clinton.
I would like to personally commend President Bush for what, in my view, was one of the best State of the Union addresses I have ever witnessed, other than, of course, my own. He was articulate, passionate, and compelling, and finally made me realize our nation is in very good hands. I must admit I was a bit nervous about him at first. He didn't strike me as all that bright, and he did seem to have a real problem expressing himself without sounding like a moron. But then I realized, hey, so does Imus. But just like the I-Man, every once in a while, W says something that truly does make real sense. And I'm happy to say there were quite a few of those things in his State of the Union address the other night. But just as I was pleasantly surprised by President Bush's performance, I was equally disappointed and hurt by the behavior of another of our elected officials, one of the members of the Senate, that cranky sow I'm married to, Hillary. She really made good on her "I'm not going to be one of those stand-by-your-man-making-cookies kind of wives" comment she made back in my first term campaign, because she showed more visibly enthusiastic support for this president's address than she ever did for any of my speeches during my entire 8 years in office. Hell, I think she even slept through half of mine. Head back, mouth open, snoring like a coonhound, drool running down her chin, which is, by the way, about the same reaction I get from her during sex. But there she was in the House chamber, sitting on the edge of her seat, looking damp as a teeny bopper at a Backstreet Boys record signing. Every time President Bush made one of his salient points, you couldn't help but see her jumping up and down, hooting and hollering like some fat pantsuit-wearing housewife in the audience at the Elvis 68 comeback special. I thought she was going to flick a cigarette lighter and start screaming for an encore. I mean, after President Bush said that whatever action is required, I will defend the freedom and security of the American people thing, I thought she was going to throw her panties up to the podium. I'm glad she didn't, because them bad boys would have covered him like a parachute. Still, as mortified as I was by Hillary, I was proud of President Bush. He worked that room and our nation like Frank Sinatra at the Sands. 73 applause breaks in one address. That could be a new record. I have to say that for the first time since the potential for war with Iraq became a reality, he made me understand the necessity for action. And just like he stated, whatever is required, I too will defend the freedom and security of the American people, as I have done before. From England.
The opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by Oral-B 3D XL toothbrush, which is from Gillette. The market, of course, has been open for 6 minutes. And I don't know what the Dow is doing because it's not on the screen yet, but it's up 21 points.
No.
Dick Cavett's here, and Sid Rosenberg is in, and, of course, I had forgotten that when we had the sports competition involving you and who?
John Minko.
Right.
Yes.
Dick had actually voted against you.
That's right. Dick did vote against me, yeah.
But you have to give him credit. He hasn't held it against me in any way.
Oh, no, that's not true.
He still calls me up to go to the movies.
I saw you on TV last night. I was watching Forrest Gump. You know you're in that movie, right?
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, you're in
right,
that.
Yeah.
They show a scene of you on your first show when you're interviewing Abe Lincoln. Remember that?
No, it was not Abe Lincoln.
That's an ugly remark and unnecessary. No.
Anyone who would refer to the beloved John Lennon as Abe Lincoln.
What do you have on your plate, Sid?
In terms of what? The show today or just in general?
Well, no, I was thinking more in terms of sports.
Well, Brian Trottier got fired. That's the biggest story of the day. The Rangers have fired head coach Brian Trottier. He only had 54 games, and he's out of there. Wasn't getting the job done.
How many of them did he win?
About 21, to be exact.
How do they tell him he's fired? What words do they use?
You know, Dick, I'm not sure. Maybe he wants something like this. You're fired. Yeah. What do you think?
It's not working out?
That's a little too elaborate.
Well, how do you think it went, Dick? What do you think? How do you think Glenn did it?
Beat it. It's got fewer letters.
Did they, when was he fired exactly?
He was fired yesterday after practice.
Right.
Ironically enough, or oddly enough, I should say, the GM, Glenn Sather, spoke to the team, put all the responsibility on the players, said it's up to you guys to turn this thing around, and after doing that, just moments later, he fired the coach.
Right.
So he took the responsibility off the players and made Brian Trottier the scapegoat, which is fine, because Trottier did not do a very good job, and he probably deserves to get fired.
What was he doing that was wrong?
Briefly,
very briefly.
Well, you know, look, some of the players complained they didn't understand what was going on. They didn't understand his system. In fact, at one point last week, the game started. He's supposed to have 5 guys on the ice. They had 4.
I hate hockey.
You do?
Let me explain the system.
What's the system?
The system is to take that stick and somehow maneuver the puck into the opposing person's net.
Right. That's exactly right.
Well, what else do they need to know?
Well, because it's not as simple as that. I wish it was. If that was the case, then anybody could be a hockey coach, wouldn't you say? I mean, there are defenses and power plays and guys are supposed to be in the right place at the right time, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's just as simple as putting the puck in the net.
Yes, put the puck in the net more times than the other person does.
Yeah.
Other people do.
That's pretty much the way it goes, yeah.
Could I ask, Sid, is it?
That's right, Nick, yes.
The thing that's inexcusable. The problem that you and I had that big day when the Cecil B. DeMille troop of people were in this tiny room was that your foreign accent bothered me.
My foreign accent?
Yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Well, it got a laugh then. It's died since.
Well, we might as well address this on the air.
What's that?
This steroid situation.
Well, I mean, it's nonsense. It's crazy. I mean, I've certainly gotten a little bigger, but I work hard every day. I heard you talking about a guy working out with 85-pound dumbbells. I work out with about 55-pound dumbbells, and that'll...
Now it's 55.
Yeah.
I talked to a trainer. It was 45.
Well, I went up 10 pounds this week.
Well, there's the roids.
Stuff must be working.
The dumbbells are gaining weight too.
Yes, but you didn't go to the gym on Tuesday when you were supposed to.
I couldn't make it on Tuesday. I was.
So most of the time, she tells me each week about how often. Sometimes she doesn't see you for 2 and 3 weeks at a time.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
No, it is true.
Well, okay.
And you often cancel your appointment.
Not often. I would say once in a while.
Okay.
Often is probably a stretch.
When are you next scheduled to go?
Today.
And are you going?
No.
Why?
Can't make it.
What do you mean you can't make it?
I've got something else to do.
Well, what else?
Well, I've got things to do. I've got places to go. I've got people to see. But maybe tomorrow. I'm scheduled to go again tomorrow. I may go tomorrow. There's a chance I won't. You're right. I don't go every single time. But when I go, I spend 2 hours working hard. And you can get like this in that time. And I don't think it's a. I mean, did you notice I was a lot bigger, Dick?
Yeah. I thought that you were, a little bigger.
You really did, huh?
Particularly through your shoulders and
I guess
your
it was when the
chest area.
buttons started popping off your shirt.
That is your shirt, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, Sid and I have to confess that we know each other better than you think.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't show up for our whist game the other night.
This kid, Roberto Bingo, whatever the hell his name is, the guy from the Oakland Raiders center. What's his name?
Barrett Robbins?
Yeah, Barrett Robbins.
Roberto Benigno.
Well, whatever.
That's the Italian actor, I think, that you're talking about.
Anyway, he, for some reason, disappeared on Friday before the Super Bowl.
Right, he's bipolar, he's manic and he's depressive. He's got a terrible problem, actually. And he's under medication, and I guess he stopped taking his meds and ended up in Tijuana drinking whiskey and wanted to kill himself on Saturday night. I mean, it's a very sad situation, actually.
Why isn't he hospitalized?
He was hospitalized, I guess, for a short time, but we don't really have all the details, Dick. They're coming out slow. I wish I had more details for you, but it turns out that the kid is screwed up.
He's 6'3", which is how tall Charles is. Charles weighs about 180, 185, something like that.
Right.
This kid weighs 320. What do you think he's doing?
And we're the same altitude.
Think that's all working out in the gym there, Sid?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You can get that big.
Yes,
All you do
you
is work
can.
out 2-3 hours a day, every single day, and you'll get that big.
To 320.
If that's your desired goal, if you want to get to 320, 350, sure, you can do that.
Well, they're starting to say now you can be fat and in shape.
See that? That's exactly
you can
right.
be fat and not in shape.
Yeah.
And a person who is fat and in shape is better off than someone who's just thin, because they may have many other things.
Correct. Fat and fit is better than thin, and they.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, to be honest with you.
We could almost be talking about anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
You could make that statement, incidentally.
Are you handy around the kitchen, Yvonne?
Oh, I think I am.
What kind of dishes do you like to prepare?
Oh, I love to prepare tacos, enchiladas, tamales, frijoles. They're wonderful.
What is tacos?
Oh, tacos is a delicious tortilla that you put lots of beans and olives, meat, and you fold it and you eat it. Oh, it's wonderful.
Your husband is a lucky man to have someone who can prepare all those tasty Mexican dishes. What is his favorite dish?
Sauerbraten.
Entertainment from the set of Friends tonight. Mary Hart, right from where Jennifer Aniston, Matthew Perry...
Work to regrow your hair naturally.
Join the tens of
America's Paramount sports broadcast legend, living or dead, the late, great Howard Cosell. Paramount indeed. Ultimate, supreme, maximum leader of the sports broadcasting genre. Howard Cosell. Never one to eschew a boast. Never one to shun an accolade. No, Howard Cosell always thought of himself as slightly, strike that, as utterly and entirely above the rabble, inferior to none, and frankly, superior to most, if not all. Yes, I was the model, the personification, if you will, of supercilious, self-satisfied conceit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until now. No longer in the current era, for I have been superseded, supplanted, overcome, trounced, trumped, and trampled by, you know him, Jim, I think I'm God, Nance. The overbearing, imperious, telepathic clairvoyant, or so he thinks, of CBS Sports. May I present telephonic, Super Bowl, irrefutable empirical proof. Go ahead, asshole, talk.
I know a little thing about the Super Bowl, Don. I'm sorry you're so out of touch that you don't know about my record this season. I had Tampa and Oakland on September the 8th, and everyone in the world is clamoring for my Super Bowl pick. And I thought out of the goodness of my heart I was going to call you up today, my longtime friend, and I was going to give it to you first. I am about to move the line right here on the Clemens in the Morning Show. Just think that you've been riding with me all season long. You wouldn't just own that ranch out in New Mexico. You'd own the state of New Mexico.
So, who do you like in the Super Bowl, Jim?
Who do you like?
I like Tampa Bay. I like them 21-17.
Well, you're going down because the Jim Nance Super Bowl Super Special.
All right, here we go. All right.
That all of America is clamoring for.
All right, coming up.
Is Oakland. Oakland is the play this week.
You're so wrong that it hurts me.
I'm dead serious here. I really, really love Oakland in this game.
You're wrong.
Why do I care what you think? What credentials do you have about football?
We'll see come Monday, won't we?
Did you ever play football?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, in high school.
What high school?
Prescott High School.
What were you, the place kicker?
No, I was a running back.
Come on.
Well?
You were the running back.
Yeah. Well, here's what might happen the next time I come over here. I might whoop up on your old ass.
Yeah, well, let's try. I'm ready for you right now.
I've been over there at Gold's Gym.
Yes, so have I.
Well,
I see you over there by the 5-pound dumbbells.
You are dead wrong.
Listen.
You're a fool and
all
you're
I know
dead wrong.
is we got all these football experts, these football goons you bring on your radio show, think they know something about football.
Yeah.
And, you know, I haven't seen any of them pick Tampa and Oakland this season.
I think Hootie's on the other line.
Yeah.
Wants to talk to you.
About what?
Well, you know what.
About what? About what? About the fact that even Hootie Blowfish Johnson thinks you suck. So now, dear listener, you understand why, reluctantly, I must surrender my crown, title, trophy, and all the rest. As planet Earth's single, most insufferable, hateful, detestable prick. The torch is passed. I place the sash on you, my young friend, Jim Nance, Mr.
hole 2003. Next Augusta, may the only hole-in-one be VJ Singh's putter up your butt. Howard Cosell speaking of sports. And believe me, I'm only telling it like it is.
What a schmuck. Jim Nance.
Hateful.
What an arrogant, patronizing, condescending putz.
You should play that every day.
Oh, no, that's edited. It went on for 10 minutes.
Offer to sell it. Really?
Oh.
God.
When you hear it back, he really was very obnoxious and very condescending. He really was. I was actually surprised. I thought he was kind of joking around, but...
No, it seemed genuine, didn't
It
it?
did, right? Yeah. Like, what do you know? When did Jim Nance play ball, by the way?
Yeah, by the way.
I see Deion Sanders, Dan Marino, Boomer Esiason. Where's Nance? When did he play ball?
Played golf. Those the a-holes.
No.
Didn't you at one point hold a state record?
Oh, absolutely. On the 100-yard dash. High school record.
Yeah, man.
You did?
Oh, absolutely.
State record.
Oh, in the state record.
That's right. Well, it's been a number of years ago.
Well, I don't care.
It was the 19th century.
Who cares? Shut up, you little midget.
Who cares? Who cares? What difference does that
No,
make?
run up and down the stairs again.
What sort of jock do you think I am, Sid?
You, Dick, I would say that in your days you were a very good football player. And,
That's not true.
What? How about gymnastics?
On the nose, Charlie.
You're a gymnast, aren't you?
Weren't you a champion or something, Dick?
I was, in fact. I suppose I still am, aren't I, in a way? Because once they give you the gold medal... And
yes.
Take it away from you.
You got the gold medal?
I was going to bring it in and show it to you, and I've lost it again.
Where'd you win a gold medal? In the Olympics?
No, in the Nebraska State meet. And the walking up to the apparatus.
What do you find humorous here?
What do you find, young beady-eyed rodent? What's amusing?
Perhaps you'd like to tell the other boys and girls what's so amusing.
Yeah.
I just, the Nebraska State meet is it's a nice accomplishment. I'm not trying to,
it's the Nebraska of the Strategic Air Command.
Football team out there, don't they? Schmuckface.
Well, they have a good football team out there, but I don't think anybody knows about Nebraska gymnastics. Do you? I mean, is it something that comes to mind right away?
I won't pretend there was a huge crowd at the state meet. In fact, the team outnumbered them.
You really are. You are a horrid individual, Sid.
Why?
I don't know. You just are.
How many guys were on the team?
I want you to like me, and you keep slapping
Well,
me.
there weren't any other guys on the team, by the way. Let's clear that up. But that's a minor point.
Yeah.
Did you do the pommel horse thing?
The pommel horse. No. Oh, Burt Reynolds used to think it was funny, too, and kept calling it the hobby horse when he was on my show. And I got a horse, and I was going to do my old state meet winning with my triple rear dismount, which stunned him, and which actually won in first place. Triple rear dismount now sounds like a weird sex act or something.
Around Burt Reynolds.
It's better than a triple...
Never mind.
I like it better than a triple rear mount.
Yeah, I think it's probably wise to keep it in the sort of past tense or whatever. But, boy, when I walked out to that piece of apparatus, nothing in my life has been as scary. Because an instant slip and you're down. Your whole year is down the drain.
Well, you excelled.
And you still see it. Oh, brother.
That is.
Are we on the radio right now?
Yes, we are.
I was going to...
Oh, we've all left the building.
And I don't. I noticed a kind of...
You're just here by yourself, Dick.
Echoey in here. Well, then I'll tell myself my Howard Cosell story.
It's got to be brief. We're out of time, almost.
Okay. Howard Cosell always used to call me a diminutive equestrian because he caught me riding a horse one day. On my show, he pissed me off, and I said, Howard, can I ask you a silly question? A guy with your money, can't he afford a rug that doesn't look like half a coconut sitting on top of your head? Well, I almost killed the old fellow.
Oh.
No, actually, he was unfazed.
As much as we were, apparently.
Maybe I left something out. Howard,
you got a cartoon idea?
Thanks, Dick.
Women looking for Mr. Right.
I'm pretty much... Bernard is very smart.
I don't know. All right, thank you, Andrew. Andrew Mitchell, NBC News. To you, and we're in a rush here because we got Schiffer coming up, a bunch of commercials, and I've wasted a bunch of time on this stupid game. And we never have enough time to do anything anyways. 14 after the hour, the Amish Morning Business Report, sponsored by the New York Quarterly, will unveil this week how it plans to emerge from Chapter 11 bankruptcy, park their planes. That would be one way to do that, wouldn't it?
Right. Driving taxi cabs.
That's a business report from the New York Stock Exchange here in the Army Submarine Program. Well, we just heard what a fool Nance made of himself.
Ooh, that was rough.
And then, of course, Mike and Chris, and of course, Mike just was so dismissive of me when right out here in the hallway in the newsroom, I guaranteed him that as much as any nitwit can on a sporting event, that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would prevail against the Oakland Raiders, and he just laughed and was dismissive. And here these two fools were on their program on Friday.
I don't buy the Tampa defense. Hey, nice defense. This is not the Chicago Bears. Come on. And the Raider offense is good. Very good. My first score that came to my mind last Sunday night at about 10 o'clock.
What was that?
Was 27-17. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to root for them.
Right.
But 10 o'clock, Paul Tagliabue's giving out Super Bowl trip with Al Davis.
On Monday, the word's going to be this. The Raiders out-physical Tampa Bay. The game will start pretty even. Tampa will play pretty well. Second quarter will go towards the Raiders. Third quarter will go more towards the Raiders. Fourth quarter will be a Raiders sideshow. Thought pick 27, so I won't.
Yeah.
26. Nah, heck, let's do it up. 30.
Yeah.
To 13.
30-13. Wow. You two are morons. Let me tell you who should be suspended. Sid should be suspended, and those two morons should be suspended.
Clearly.
God, do they have and Jim Nance should be banned from ever doing football again.
Sure.
What? I mean, what a bunch of fools.
Stick to golf, loser.
Do you ever get the Phil Simms cut?
No, I'm still working on it.
Okay, we're working on that. 20 minutes after the hour. Would you like to win the Super Bowl, Chuck?
Man, I don't know. I guess Oakland.
Lou?
Oakland.
Bernie?
The jackass quotient. Tampa Bay has more jackasses. Go Oakland.
Yeah. Well, I'm for Tampa Bay because they're my team, so.
Yeah.
And they will win, incidentally.
Well, keep dreaming.
In fact, there's no question whether they're going to win or not.
None?
None.
Huh.
So.
That's very admirable, your position.
Huh?
However, naive.
Oh, we'll see.
Look, up in the sky.
Bird, it's a plane.
It's Amos in the morning.
My father came from Cuba with very little and started a company within the watch business. And
this morning, we're going to talk to Bob in just a second. Sid was claiming this morning that he picked Tampa Bay, but correct. Here's Sid on the program. Is this from Friday?
Sims.
Oh, Sims.
Yeah, that's who I have. I don't have Sid.
Oh, well, here's Phil Simms. Who's going to win this game? Who's going to win this game?
Well, who are you picking?
Tampa Bay.
You're picking Tampa Bay?
Absolutely.
How come?
I just think they're going to win.
Oh, okay. Is that your team all year, Tampa Bay?
Yes.
It wasn't the Raiders?
No, it was Tampa Bay and the Redskins.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Well,
real quick, I think Oakland is the favorite team for a really good reason. I just think they got, I think they're better.
Yeah.
And they got better players, so, and their quarterback's exceptional. If you made me pick I'm not crazy about picking games, but I think the Oakland Raiders are going to win it.
I do. Oh, you're wrong. And he was wrong. One more expert. Just one more moron.
Yeah.
So Bob Schieffer's book, This Just In, What I Couldn't Tell You on TV, is published. Today's the official publication date, published by G.P. Putnam's Sons. Please welcome to the program, Bob Schieffer. Good morning, Mr. Schieffer.
Mr. Amos.
How are you?
Well, I'm just fine, thank
you. Do you know G.P. Putnam's Sons?
New residential subscribers only. DSL Internet by SBC Internet Services. Content by Yahoo. $12.95 shipping and handling fee applies to the self-install kit as of 2103.
It's 5 minutes after the hour here in the Army Submarine program. The frustrating part of all that is that you just don't have enough time to talk to Schieffer, but without getting all emotional about it, if more reporters were like him, it wouldn't be necessary for Bernie Goldberg and these other people to write books about whatever.
Well, it's about bias.
He's going to be on, Russell's going to do an hour with him on his CNBC show.
Yeah.
So they'll have more time to get into, but it's a fabulous book, and it's just, it's just candid, and it covers everything from, well, as I've talked about before, from the Oswald situation to when he went to Vietnam, to the whole deal with the Watergate situation, and to Lewinsky, to I did 68 convention in Chicago. And just everything. So. And that whole deal when he was doing a CBS morning show, you know, now they've got Harry Smith over there doing it, and some other people. It's just another disaster, of course. So, and then right up through September 11th. Yeah. So this just in, what I couldn't tell you on TV, I'll tell you, you would just love the book. You can order it at Amazon.com, and of course, it's been published now, so they'll send it right to you. And incidentally, when it's at Amazon.com, I think the book lists for probably, I don't know what it lists for. Let me look. Looks like $26.95. You can get it for about $10 off.
Sure.
I don't understand that. When it goes on a bestseller list at Barnes & Noble,
immediately
it's immediately a 30 or 40% discount. I don't get that. You would think they would charge more for the bestsellers, wouldn't
right.
you?
There'd be a premium.
Or charge retail like Ostro does on the Mercedes you sold me. Huh?
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm telling you, it's a terrific book.
Yes, it is.
It's just in.
That's it. We got it over the weekend.
Well, it turns out everybody here at the radio station made a complete fool of themselves, all the experts, about this football game, in which I was absolutely correct, and as much as you can, I guaranteed that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would beat the Oakland Raiders. So what happened? 48-21. It wasn't even that close. It was a humiliating, domineering, mess and defeat for the Oakland Raiders. But by the way, congratulations to the Oakland Raider fans, because they did what fans should do when your team loses, and that is riot and set stuff on fire and throw bricks through windows,
which is precisely what happened.
So they burned cars and rioted. They arrested 23 of them.
Yeah.
And isn't that what you should do?
Absolutely.
Not when your team wins. Don't set your town on fire.
Turn it into the West Bank.
Exactly.
You were humiliated.
I mean, it was just and listen to Mike and Chris, and they had Parcells on and John Madden and those people.
All the geniuses.
And they just made
high-paid geniuses,
utter fools of themselves. And Jim Nance who was the most blatant fool, who went out of his way to call in on this program and was so patronizing and condescending to the I-Man and dismissive.
Oh, and the way he staked out his territory was, come on.
What a buffoon. They all thinking that because, and they all thought that the Oakland Raiders would win because their offensive and defensive line were so much bigger than the Tampa Bay Buccaneer people. What they found out was that they were a bunch of big fat losers who couldn't get out of their own way. Big tubs of Lincoln Kennedy and the rest of them. Yeah. Big fat tubs of lard who just got bitch slapped. It was awful. It was humiliating.
An old-fashioned Imus in the morning
ass whooping. That's what it was.
That's what it was, exactly.
There's a lot of news going on this morning. This morning at 9 o'clock, MSNBC will cover live this inspector's report over there to UN, and that's got to just be a joke. But at any rate, that's where we are, and there's been more violence in the Middle East, and here with the news and stuff, and we'll get back to Star. Well, here is Bill Parcells when he called in Mike's Francesa's very fine NFL Now show, which is on FAN and syndicated around the country on the radio, and simulcast on the Yes Television Network. By the way, could the Yes Television Network spend maybe $5 on a set for these people?
Public access channel.
Honest to God, it's what it looks like. They have one stationary camera, and then they have a sheet behind them with a bunch of logos pasted on it.
Yes.
It's just the worst-looking mess. I mean, why bother to do it then? Had them sitting at a card table in a hallway out there in some hotel. I mean, it was humiliating. Anyway, here's Mike Francesa, the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? Good. When you think about this matchup, what's the first thing that jumps out at you?
Well, the first thing that jumps out at me is the size of the Oakland Raiders offensive line versus the relative diminutive Tampa defensive line that relies on speed and quickness.
Is there anything you can't do in the 1 week for the Super Bowl versus the 2 weeks' time?
I do think Tampa may have lost a little bit preparation-wise in the course of having to travel and being forced to travel and not being able to to prepare maybe quite as well as they would have if they were a little closer to the Super Bowl site.
Give me a thought on the other matchup, the Tampa offense against the Raider defense.
I think if the Raiders can turn Tampa into a one-dimension passing team, they'll beat them easily. One other thing I would mention would be a slight advantage for the Raiders, but I do like the Raiders' kickers and punters. I think they have a little edge over the Tampa kickers and punters.
If you had to make a pick, who do you think would win the game?
My best guess is that, I like the big team, the bigger team. And
size wins. You always say power football wins.
The last time these two teams met, even though it was some time ago, that showed up.
You're just a fool. You're a fat fool. And I imagine Jerry Jones wants to kill himself. Why not hire this meathead?
You should have called Bill Belichick to see what he thought about this.
Jesus,
who was going to win?
I mean, what a fool. And the biggest fool, of course, is Jim Nance, who went out of his way to call me. I mean, just listen to this. Hear this, Lou. Play this thing sometime this morning.
I love Oakland here, Don.
Yeah, sure.
I think everybody knows we got the best offense against the best defense.
Right.
And usually people, go with the old line that the defense wins. I don't think that's the case here. Oakland's got so many different ways to crack the code.
Right.
And I see Gannon and company being able to move the ball right up and down the field, unlike anybody ever has against Tampa.
Right.
The Oakland players cannot wait to go not only beat Gruden, they want to beat him by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
He won't be playing, incidentally.
They look at it like he's out there in uniform.
You're so wrong that it hurts me. Yeah, hurts my hair. He was so wrong. I mean, why go out of your way to call me? I make a complete, utter fool of yourself.
May I say that is an edited comment, that went on like that until you couldn't believe it.
I finally had to get rid of him.
Yeah, finally had to dump out.
I mean, that's just about...
that's just a few seconds.
30 seconds of that fool.
Of him going on.
Just on and on.
God.
And then Chris and Mike, and I love the production values in this little piece. They're on their show. They do their football picks at the end of their show on Friday. And this is just another,
Well, the momentum all builds toward this moment.
They put their Meet the Press music in the back.
Yeah. Listen to this.
I don't buy the Tampa defense. Hey, nice defense, Cyrus. This is not the Chicago Bears. Come on. And the Raider offense is good. Very good. My first score that came to my mind last Sunday night at about 10 o'clock
what?
was 27-17.
Really?
I don't like them. I don't want to have to root for them.
Sure.
But 10 o'clock, Paul Tagliabue's giving that Super Bowl trophy to Al Davis.
On Monday, the word's going to be this. The Raiders out physical Tampa Bay. The game will start pretty even. Tampa will play pretty well. Second quarter will go towards the Raiders. Third quarter will go more towards the Raiders. Fourth quarter will be a Raiders sideshow.
Yeah. That worked out.
27, so I won't.
Okay.
26. Let's do it. I'm 30.
Let's make it 30.
I'll bump it 4.
How about 48-21 Tampa? How does that sound?
Another lending success.
Well, the way my wife is going on about Mike Francesa, I mean, I had to say, calm down.
What's the deal?
Well, I mean,
He's a good guy.
Yeah, well, that's what she said. But
Unlike his partner.
yeah, she can't understand why he
Idiot.
subjects. She said, why does somebody who is as bright and funny and intelligent as Francesa work with this degenerate nitwit? I said, well,
You could ask Jody the same thing.
Didn't very well. Oh, wait a minute, doesn't Jody work with Sid, Janice? It's 22 after the hour here on the Ivy City Morning Program. Of course, Sid Rosenberg, I think I saved you from getting suspended.
I think you did, yeah.
But Sid was supposed to do a show out in
San Diego.
And called in sick.
Couldn't make it, yeah.
That is what is the real story behind that?
Couldn't make it.
That is so.
No, there is more to that.
But here's what I recommended to the station.
Yeah.
What I would do. Mm-hmm. The next time you pull anything, I would just fire you.
Right there, right. So one of the
Oh, absolutely. In fact, if you'd have been scheduled to be on this program and done that, then you would have been fired.
But that wouldn't happen, of course.
No, and you know why it wouldn't happen? Because you know what I would do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Know the consequence.
Exactly.
What kind of illness?
Which is the reason I come to work, because if I didn't, I know what Mel would do. He'd fire me. So, I mean, that's just the end of that. So that's outside. I don't test that.
I saw Mel on Friday
Plus,
night.
I honor my contract, which is what you should do.
Well,
you agree to go to work for people, and they pay you. I didn't do this for years, believe me, and so I know what I'm talking about. You have a responsibility to show up. If you don't like it, then quit.
But what happens if you don't feel good?
It's like being married. Don't cheat on your wife,
right,
or husband. If you don't want to be married, then get out of that deal and then go do what you want to do.
Totally agree.
I hope you do.
But what is the analogy here between cheating on your wife and being sick one day for work?
I think it's an analogy.
Pattern of behavior. No, here's the
pattern of behavior.
Here's the problem. Here's what I'm getting from you. What I'm getting from you is, I think you doubt my sickness on Saturday.
Of course you weren't sick.
Well, why wouldn't I go to work?
Well, who the hell knows?
Well, what do you think? Honestly, what are you thinking right now?
I just think you probably were hungover, tired.
Yeah.
You've been out all night at that party.
Exactly. That's being sick.
And what?
That is what he considers being sick.
That is sick.
That's the crux of the thing right
How
here.
many times did they have to carry me in the studio, Charles? I'd have to lie down between records. That's when I'm back playing records.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I'd be so coked up or drunk or what, but I got to work. You got to show up. Of course, that was working for Bob Sherman,
who would kill you.
Who said he would kill me if I didn't come to work. So I took him in his word.
Just throw up in the garbage can next to you and go on.
I don't think we need to get that graphic, Janice. Just whatever happens. Anyway, so Francesa was, of course, arrogantly wrong about this game.
Way off.
His fat friend, that dopey coach in Dallas, he didn't have a clue. John Madden had no clue.
Sims?
No clue.
Nance?
No, Nance was ridiculous.
Yeah.
How wrong Nance was.
And you know what there was? Like, all the people in San Diego who I saw, like, on Friday and Saturday, they were so obnoxious and arrogant about the pick also.
Right.
Because I like the Bucks, and I kept trying to explain why I like the Bucks, and they were totally dismissive.
I don't remember you liking
Yeah, well, because you got to admit, your memory's not what it used to be.
Do we have a tape of, who did Fred pick?
Fred picked the Bucks.
Okay, do we have a tape of when Fred picked the Bucks? Weren't you on with Fred?
Yeah, I think I was. Right before I left, right, Charles?
Yes,
okay.
That's right.
Let's have Dave Bonzel get that tape of Fred and Sid.
Yeah.
And let's see who Sid picked.
And now, if I pick the Bucks, what happens? I've already avoided suspension today, so what else could possibly be done for me? Tell me about the suspension thing. How close was it? Was it close?
Why should anything be done for you for making a proper pick?
Well, I haven't talked to Lee yet. I don't know. Well, no, I think it's so. I think I can save you.
Are there going to be photographs that are going to show up at the radio station? Any kind of footage at all?
You got to be more responsible. I mean, you just.
What do you mean? I don't get it. I don't.
You got to show up for work.
I couldn't make it.
You were complaining all last week. Oh, I want to go to the Super Bowl. I want to go to the Super Bowl.
And you went out there and you didn't.
By the way, I went out there myself.
Yeah.
There was, FAN didn't send me out there because I've been reading some of the stuff all over the wires today. FAN did not send me out there. Right. FAN did not put me up in the hotel. FAN did not pay for my airfare. FAN did not get me tickets to the game.
Right.
I went out there on my own. This was not where Mike and Chris
That's
were
the
taking
only
care of.
reason that you're not being suspended.
It's because I took care of everything myself.
Yeah.
If they had sent me out there,
and you didn't show,
well, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to say that what I did was right, but I couldn't make it.
What did you do over the weekend?
You had an obligation to show up.
But I couldn't make it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't see what you're saying.
I couldn't make it that day. I'll make it up a different day. That day I couldn't make it.
Jesus, God almighty, you are so stupid. It hurts me. Here's Janice Dean with a scrum report. Good morning, Janice.
I want to know what Sid actually did over the weekend.
Nothing.
To that.
No, there's nothing happened. There's a lot of work. A lot of work.
No work. And all play, as the rumors go. The opinions are being formed over last night's Super Bowl entertainment. Here's the good, the bad, and the stupid. The good, pre-game singing of Star Spangled Banner by the Dixie Chicks. Everyone thought that was pretty good. Did you see that?
They were okay.
It was good.
They were good.
The bad, Celine Dion singing God Bless America.
Yeah, please.
How much do I hate her? And she's not even American, Canadian. The stupid, Celine Dion's field gold signaling she was doing during interviews on her stupid, self-indulgent commercials for Chrysler.
Yeah.
And in the halftime show, the good, No Doubt and Sting. Sting is a hottie. The bad and the stupid, Shania Twain. Her hideous outfit, lip-syncing, band dancing.
I didn't know. My wife tells me that she just can't stand Sinatra because she just claims she doesn't have any talent.
I used to like her, but now I'm starting to think that I have no respect for her. She likes to say that she's a perfectionist and she likes to perform in front of live audiences. That was a total lip-sync show last night. Her band dancing around with, those strap-on.
Well, no, I had no idea that was a lip-sync deal.
You're kidding me, right?
It was right off her album.
Wait a second. You're telling me you couldn't tell last night that she really wasn't singing?
No.
Oh, my God. It was the most obvious thing of the night.
Well, hello? I said I couldn't tell. He missed it. I mean, that is disgraceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she obviously...
She seems like she has a pogo stick stuck in her butt.
She looks good, though.
You like Gwen Stefani last night? You thought she was good?
I thought she was good.
She was very good.
I didn't like her.
As was Sting.
I didn't like
Hello,
him.
Sting.
I didn't like him.
I mean, I'm not a big Sting fan, but the guy's great.
Yeah, he's great, but I didn't like the way she sang Message in a Bottle. You like that?
Well, that was fine.
Her voice.
It's not going to go on my iPod, but it was fine. Let me hear Fred and Sid. So what do you like in Sunday's Super Bowl?
Well, I like Tampa Bay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, they've been my team all year, you know.
They have?
They have?
Well, okay, maybe not all year, but they've been my team since last week.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know who Sid.
That didn't cover Sid.
My pick is out there. Eddie Scazzeri is looking for the audio right now. You'll have it in the next 15 minutes.
Did you meet any celebrities on the weekend?
Oh, a lot of celebrities.
Like?
I met Pat O'Brien.
And?
Carmen Electra.
What happened with Pat O'Brien?
Pat O'Brien and I are, well, I can't tell you because there will be some footage sent to the Iron, so I don't want to ruin it. But Pat O'Brien and I did meet.
It's a nice guy, isn't he?
Pat O'Brien?
Yeah.
Let me just say this about Pat O'Brien.
He used your head as a thigh master, no doubt.
Of all the people I've met in my life, you'll be hard-pressed to find a nicer guy.
I'm funny.
Than Pat
A
O'Brien.
week ago, you were bashing the guy.
Yeah,
you were.
Something
Like,
horrible.
terribly.
Something happened, I guess.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah,
How
he's
many
a great guy.
drinks did you have?
I love Pat O'Brien.
Yeah.
Dear God.
You are really just...
He's the best host on television.
You are.
Jeez, you got to stop.
You are like a. You're like when you go out in the woods and you turn over a piece of old bark or something, and there's that white stuff underneath. That's what you are. You're an oozing sore.
You are well, organic rot.
Oh my God, you are just a festering mass of pus, isn't it, Charles?
Nothing short of that.
You're what happens when you. Oh, you're just. You're what comes out of a skunk's butt.
Wait a minute. Have mercy. Imus in the morning.
Back in Brooklyn, in my old neighborhood of Canarsie, everybody had a nickname. My friend Bo Dietl named me Joey Pots and Pains in providing some of this evidence publicly.
Well, with all due respect to Bernie is, I love him like a son, but he's a little naive in this whole area and has gone out the deep end in suggesting that the only threat that Saddam Hussein, that's the only reason to go to war with Iraq is because of some threat they pose to us in this country, ignoring all of the other the dynamics of the situation, and I've tried to help Bernie through this, but he's been fairly dismissive of my attempt to aid him.
I mean, the point about the smoking gun.
You're Bernie.
Oh, it's just ludicrous. By the way, who gave you that information or that opinion? That's my question.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, the smoking gun standard is kind of ridiculous, but because except in the Sherlock Holmes story, you're not going to find a smoking gun, but they should find some kind of a gun.
Well, we want some sort of evidence of a clear and present danger against the United States, which is the stupid bill of goods they sold us on September 12th when they initiated this war talk.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many other dynamics to this equation that I don't even have time to get into it with you, but I may have to come in there.
How about the dynamic? How about what we owe to the servicemen to make it the last resort to send them into harm's way? If we tell them that they're defending the United States against an imminent threat, why shouldn't that be the case?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many miles a gallon do you think I get to that in that new S600?
All right, let's debate.
About 8.
Let's debate the war on that merit. Then don't lie to us. That's all I'm saying.
No, that is a good point. He does have a good point there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think you've got to really have your ducks lined up, especially if you're talking about some combat that is not going to be it's not going to be a cakewalk. The ironic thing
that it was they were playing a studio track. It's 128. Of course, it's a good band.
They just dropped the needle on the CD. Come on.
I had no idea, Lou. Well, I guess I wasn't.
You got to really pay attention. You got to watch.
See, I guess I wasn't paying that much attention.
No, right.
I mean, I just.
No one knows that. No one's paying attention to that.
They're making fun of her outfit. She looks like, my wife says, she looks like Batman or whatever she looked like. But you can't go there and lip sync that, can you?
No, I don't think so. I think it's kind of a waste of
dominatrix
time.
outfit.
Huh?
In her dominatrix outfit. There's a lot of pressure on her. She wanted to make it easy for herself. You need a headline under that, or crawl as Marv tied to live country singer.
No, I mean, you gotta show up and sing.
You gotta show up and look good. And she did that. She did accomplish that.
Yeah, she looked good, but I mean, she's got it. That's very disappointing. I feel like a fool now.
Well,
that was a really good band.
You weren't paying attention. You
That
looked up
is
your
really
sister, and that's
disgraceful. I guess I should have recognized that none of the band members were plugged in, huh?
Well, that's a clue.
Shut up, Lou.
Imus in the morning.
Yellow.
Honey, I don't have a lot of time, but remember saying that we need a new car? Well, take me to Haberstad BMW in Huntington right away.
Yeah, but...
They have a sporty 2003 325i sedan lease for just $337 per month for 36 months.
Yeah, but...
I've heard from many people that Haberstad BMW has the highest customer satisfaction rating on Long Island.
Yeah, but...
And they always have the hottest and hard-to-get BMWs in stock. Plus, they have the greatest sales staff, too. I'm so excited about going to Haberstad BMW. Honey, what were you trying to say?
Well, I wanted to surprise you and take you to Haberstad BMW to get the BMW we've always wanted.
Oh, you're the best.
Haberstad BMW is truly the nameplate you want to have on your next BMW. Centrally located at 945 East Jericho Turnpike, Huntington, New York, 631-271-7177. Or visit them on the web, www.haberstadbmw.com. The ultimate driving machine. Haberstad BMW for that BMW in your future. Financing and lease options available through BMW Financial Services.
Paul Houston and David Evans may not be familiar names, but they've won.
Financing and lease options available through BMW Financial Services.
Paul Houston and David Evans may not be familiar names, but they've won 14 Grammys. Know who they are? The answer after this from Travelocity.
Book a cruise now with Travelocity during our biggest cruise sale ever. Every cruise is super sale, only at Travelocity. AOL keyword, travel.
Singer Paul Houston and guitarist David Evans. You know them better from U2 as Bono and The Edge. Bono took his name from a billboard for Bonovox hearing aids, while Dave Evans got the edge from his steering guitar sound. So far, U2 has earned a whopping 14 Grammys. Don't miss this year's Grammy Awards February 23rd on CBS. This Grammy moment was brought to you by Travelocity. Go virtually anywhere.
Attention all smokers. If you're serious about...
Call 1-800-2DONATE for hassle-free pickup. Remember 1-800-2-DONATE or visit taxdeduction.com. I'm Lori McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
This is the Imus in the Morning radio program on WFA in New York and Infinity Broadcasting Station. It is 9 o'clock. Time for Imus in the Morning news, local developments. First of all, trustees of Schenectady Community College are to meet this afternoon to discuss whether Scott Ritter will be allowed to speak at the college next month. Ritter, the former UN weapons inspector in Iraq, harsh critic of President Bush's push toward war, now under criticism himself over allegations that he solicited a minor over the internet. Ritter's 2001 arrest was adjourned in contemplation of dismissal, and the records were sealed, but federal authorities are now reviewing the case for possible federal charges. Ritter was scheduled to speak at the college February 12th on whether war with Baghdad is necessary. College trustee Albert De Apri says he thinks Ritter's message will be overshadowed now by the controversy surrounding him over the alleged internet sex case. The college president says that if people believe Ritter's credibility has been damaged, they don't have to come to the speech. Student and faculty groups are paying for Ritter's appearance. Search continues for the 4 teenage boys whom police believe might have taken off in a small rowboat or a dinghy in Long Island Sound for a neighboring island Friday afternoon late. The boys were last seen on City Island, and an 8-foot rowboat was reported missing from a nearby marina, and these kids, are all 16-year-olds, have not been seen since about 9:30 last Friday night. Police say a human head found by 2 ice skaters at a frozen pond appears to be that of a man who had been shot. Suffolk County Police say they still don't know the identity of the victim, but they say the medical examiner did find a bullet wound in the head.
Authorities hope to get some clues from a video camera in the livery cab where a driver was fatally shot in the North Bronx. Victim, 47-year-old Fausto Arias, a driver for the Cabrini car service in Harlem, and in fact one of its founders. New York City police say he was found late Saturday in the Williamsburg section of the Bronx. In Super Bowl Sunday, a bust for 9 men who were operating an illegal sports betting ring in Brooklyn and Queens. The Kings County District Attorney says the men were running a $25 million a year operation, all linked to organized crime. D.A. Hines says Super Bowl Sunday is the number 1 day of the year for illegal betting, the most lucrative day of the year for the mob. And now these 9 men can contemplate that from someplace other than a betting parlor, like behind bars. Sports, it was the Buccaneers over the Raiders, 48-21. Basketball game yesterday. The Knicks beat the Suns 106-98. We'll have the details coming up with Sydney. The weather mostly sunny, the high near 20, cleared single digits tonight. Partly cloudy, upper 20s tomorrow. Wednesday, maybe some snow in the morning. High Wednesday, mid-30s, and it is 15 degrees right now, coming up on 3 minutes after the hour.
Are you a Survivor fan? Are you already gearing up? Restrictions apply.
Get out. Coming up in 5 minutes after the hour, I am Ira Simonian, and I'm from CBS Sports. Here's Jim Nance.
I love Oakland here, Don.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows we got the best offense against the best defense.
Yeah.
And usually people, go with the old line that the defense wins.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case here. Oakland's got so many different ways to crack the code. And I see Gannon and company being able to move the ball right up and down the field unlike anybody ever has against Tampa. The Oakland players cannot wait to go not only beat Gruden, they want to beat him by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Well, he won't be playing, incidentally.
They look at it like he's out there in uniform.
You're so wrong that it hurts me. Well, they went on and on, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's a highly edited version.
Almost like a 10-minute conversation.
So drone, a rant.
And this fool, this moron, just goes on and on about what he thinks and how Oakland's going to dominate it.
Well, this analysis and why it's going to happen and how and when. And
now, he did pick at the beginning of the season Oakland and Tampa Bay to be in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they should have stopped.
But he should have just...
And then he picked, he had a great record all year long.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
But he couldn't get it done when it counted.
No.
In the big game.
And then he has this smarmy, cocksure attitude.
Sure. Yeah, this condescending, patronizing manner and tone, and he's a boot-looking fathead.
well, wait a minute.
Hootie Johnson, butt boy. What a humiliating, disgusting display. Then you got Fessa and Fruit Loops doing their the wrap-up of their show on Friday.
Yeah.
With their Meet the Press music. And their big predictions. And they were also he couldn't be dismissive of anybody else's opinion. Here they are. God.
I don't buy the Tampa defense. Hey, nice defense. This is not a Chicago Bears. Come on. And the Raider offense is good. Very good. My first score that came to my mind last Sunday night at about 10 o'clock was 27-17.
Yeah.
I don't like them. I don't want to have to root for them. But 10 o'clock, Paul Tagliabue's giving that Super Bowl trophy to Al Davis.
On Monday, the word's going to be this. The Raiders out physical Tampa Bay. The game will start pretty even. Tampa will play pretty well. Second quarter will go towards the Raiders. Third quarter will go more towards the Raiders. Fourth quarter will be a Raiders sideshow.
Yeah.
Dog picked 27, so I won't.
Yeah.
26. Heck, let's do it up. 30. 13.
Let's do it up.
Wow. Blowout.
2-4
On the fan.
Yeah, it was a blowout. On the fan. Yes, it was a blowout.
It certainly was.
48-21 Tampa Bay, and it wasn't even that close.
Oh, man. Blowout Central.
The big, fat tubs of blubber from the Oakland Raiders couldn't get out of their own way. And they got humiliated.
Yep. So what do you do now next year when all these so-called prognosticators come on the show to tell you about football and you can't really know more?
No, we don't have them on.
They're coming on.
It's over, right?
Yeah, they're not coming on. We don't need them on.
Good grief.
We don't need them on.
Let me just say this. Dog,
a waste of time.
Dog knows nothing about football.
Yeah.
He may have some historical facts. He may be able to tell you what Green Bay Packer had a touchdown in Super Bowl II.
Yeah.
But he could watch a football game and he can't tell you anything about it.
Right.
See, I picked the Bucs last week and it was simple. You watched all week long, and I picked the Raiders to kill the Titans, and I picked the Raiders to beat the Jets. I knew the Raiders get to the Super Bowl, but if you watch the Raiders closely enough, you can see they were prone to giving up plays, and the Buccaneers are making plays, and the Buc defense was playing well. to just totally dismiss the Buccaneers as, I can't see how they're going to score. They scored nearly 60 points in 2 weeks prior between San Francisco and Philadelphia. Made no sense.
Yeah.
There are certain guys that can talk about facts. There are certain guys that can watch a football game and know football. That's not dog.
Didn't you pick both Tampa Bay and the Raiders on Friday?
Well, kind of.
Didn't you
short? Didn't you pick the Giants to win the game they were eliminated in?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So you be quiet.
Wait a second.
You don't know anything either. You're a moron as well.
You get lucky once in a while.
You're a nitwit.
I am one of the few guys at this station who can sit down, watch a game, analyze it, figure it out, know exactly what's going to happen the following week.
It's not rocket science. Relax.
Please.
Well, if it's not rocket science, how come every person that came on the show here last week was wrong?
Because it's a crapshoot, as you know.
Well,
except for the Ironman, of course.
Yeah.
His instincts were right on the money. He was very intuitive. And he's been with the Tampa Bay Bucks from day one.
Which is true, by the way.
No question.
Yeah. But Charles figured they were going to win as well. Didn't you, Charles?
Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I thought Oakland would. I went with all. I was swayed by everybody, all the experts. We only played the tape 5 times of Charles picking the Raiders.
Well, yes, Charles, but you told me out there, you said you thought there was something cosmic going on.
Yes, I did. But I still had to go with the Nances, the Francesas, the Mad Dog.
Where are you going to go with
Coach
now?
Parsons.
Who's your daddy?
Well,
who's your daddy?
I got one daddy.
Yeah.
I got one daddy.
Yeah.
I got one daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Who is my daddy?
Who's your daddy?
I daddy.
Who's going to win this game?
Well, who are you picking?
Tampa Bay.
You're picking Tampa Bay?
Absolutely.
How come?
I just think they're going to win.
Oh, okay. Is that your team all year, Tampa Bay?
Yes.
It wasn't the Raiders?
No, it was Tampa Bay and the Redskins.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Well?
Well, real quick, I think Oakland is the favorite team for a really good reason. I just think I think they're better.
Yeah.
And they got better players, and their quarterback's exceptional. If you made me pick I'm not crazy about picking games, but I think the Oakland Raiders are going to win it.
Oh, you did?
R-E-S-B-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-B-C-T, take out T-C-T.
Imus in the morning. Order Showtime now to get $50 cash and see the most exciting fighters in the business. Asalino Freitas, the return of the biggest name in boxing, Mike Tyson.
Met with any foul play of any sort.
He sounded actually quite together.
Yeah.
Given everything that's happened.
Assuming that his wife Debbie wasn't holding a gun on him, making him make this phone call.
Excellent point. He sounded a little bit tense.
Yeah. So.
Man, that is a good point.
So.
Wow.
But we're just assuming that didn't happen. Apparently it didn't. So. Well, I say apparently, but we really don't have any way of knowing. But Lou did call in from vacation. Of course, his wife, in case you haven't followed the story, Debbie Dobbs was arrested with an unlicensed handgun in her purse trying to get on a plane out of
Newark Liberty International Airport, Newark, New Jersey. This happened at 3:15 in the afternoon, Eastern Time yesterday.
Girl shows up with a gun in her purse.
On her way to see Lou on vacation.
Yeah. So.
But now that you think about it, she doesn't really need a gun to kill him. A harpoon would do just fine.
Well, she would.
Boy, be a little portly. Well, yeah, but it'd be much more difficult to get aboard a plane
with a harpoon.
With a harpoon, wouldn't it? Than a small handgun. Well, maybe she could pick one up locally. Down in that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, particularly there. I mean, at a scuba shop or something.
Sure.
You're absolutely right.
But according to Lou, she was traveling with their children.
Yep.
And
the kids who he deprived of a mass fortune by wasting the family funds in that stupid space.com.
I don't think he invested any of his own money, did he?
Absolutely.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I thought he pretty much took NBC to the cleaners on that deal.
Well, he did. Screwed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mass casualties. In fact, Bob Wright was just arrested getting on a plane, heading for Florida with an Uzi.
You were looking for Lou? Maybe that's what caused Jack Walsh to freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was under Jack's watch, you know. Remember that NBC made this deal with Lou?
Yeah.
He was going to do something. He was appearing, he was on with Brokaw, wasn't he, for a while there? And,
right.
And he was going to, this when he left CNN.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe NBC put up $100 million.
In that vicinity. A lot of money.
Invested in this space.com.
Yep.
This foolish situation that Lou had. And, well, it's still going, I think.
Oh, absolutely it is. Sure.
In fact, Wyatt has a little spaceman that Lou sent him. A little space monkey in a little space suit.
Yep.
That he occasionally plays with. And they were selling those things, plus these hideous T-shirts and other junk. And that's kind of where we are.
They did develop the definitive astronomy software that the Starry Night, I believe it is, which is fabulous, I am told.
Space.com did?
Yes.
Is that something they sell? Or?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see if I can find it here.
You found their website?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then one of the things they do is they track these, every time we launch one of these stupid rocket deals, they track that. They're there, and they track all that. The whole thing is just...
Troubling?
Well, it's a black hole.
Appropriately, right?
Yeah. For NBC's and GE's money.
Backyard astronomy. Oh, wait a minute.
And the Dobbs' money.
Yeah. And Lou, we don't know how much of Lou's fortune he blew on this, but...
He had to go crawling back to CNN. Things got so bad.
Well, he did go back to work for him, yeah. So, I don't know if he went crawling back, but...
Just, the evidence is there.
Well, when they got rid of Rick Kaplan, where did Rick Kaplan land, by the way, or did he?
I think he's Fidel Castro's spokesperson.
He's still in orbit. He hadn't landed.
But apparently, Rick and Lou didn't get along all that well, and so
No.
Lou bailed, and then when they got rid of, came to their senses and got rid of Rick Kaplan, when he turned that thing into a bigger joke than it was.
Yep. Oh.
So they've recovered somewhat now, apparently. That was the deal where he sucked poor old Jeff Greenfield into the situation.
Sure. Yeah.
Nearly ruined Greenfield's career.
Poor guy.
So I don't know if Greenfield's even recovered yet.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's been reduced to,
30-second inserts on Judy Woodruff's show at, 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great move for Jeff.
He might as well have gone up in space.
I don't know if Jeff would have any motive to murder Lou Dobbs. Would he? What? I mean, he wouldn't be blaming this on Lou, would he?
Well, when you're that traumatized emotionally, who knows what kind of connections you put together?
Yeah. I mean, well, it could be like a Sid deal. It's just so delusional, and you get so paranoid, you think everybody's out to get you. And well, who is a better target than Lou Dobbs, or a bigger target?
Nobody. Excellent point.
Yeah.
The Starry Night's Deep Space Explorer wins prestigious Choice Gold Award for software.
What's it cost?
Whoopee.
I don't know.
Is it making any money?
Yeah, not enough to recover the several $100 million that have gone down the tubes in this thing.
I don't think so. I'm surprised. But,
well, we did address the News Bunny situation with him and whether Lou was making googly eyes
yeah.
at the News Bunnies on his show. And
let me guess, he denied it.
Well, yeah.
Although the evidence is there to suggest that perhaps, he did. His wife.
He met her on the set, right?
He made googly eyes at her at some point.
Yeah. Something happened there.
Sure.
So.
Right. He was teaching her some mic technique, and they got a little friendly.
Well, was he married before he met Debbie?
Well, absolutely. He has the...
he has...
Remember we had his son on? It was about, in his late 20s, early 30s?
Right.
His two sons are from a previous marriage. And he and Debbie have teenage twin daughters.
Right.
So... She was traveling with the stepsons yesterday when all of this occurred, in fact. And they eventually, as I understand it, flew on to whatever their destination was. Who knows?
He got rich and famous, and he got himself some young meat, basically. The way of the world.
Well, was he... was Debbie did she cause the breakup of his first marriage, or Had already broken up, and then he met Debbie.
We should have Janice investigate that.
Which one would hope would be the way that happened.
There you go. Starry Night Pro and Starry Night Backyard. Astronomy for the entire family.
Right.
It's fabulous.
What does it cost?
Let's see if I got a price here, I did.
What is it you get?
You get it's fantastic.
Well, what is it?
It's software for everything astronomical. If you're interested in astronomy.
Really?
Yeah. It's supposed to be the definitive one. It really is. You got Starry Night Beginner.
Right.
Deep Space Explorer, Starry Night Pro, and Starry Night Backyard.
I'm going to run right out now and get me one of those.
And you put it in your computer and what you see the sky.
Yeah. And it tells you everything.
You couldn't walk outside, but
but I mean, you would know what to look for, what to look at, or why you were looking, or anything.
Oh, I see. So this is. Well, that.
Your introduction to the wonders of the night sky. There you go. It's fabulous.
Well, I mean, you're just.
I always wondered why McCord loved Uranus.
I just wondered. I wonder if there are enough dopes like you who would buy into something like this.
Yes.
Apparently
yes,
there are, yeah.
Sure.
Right here now on the I Miss It a Morning program, the former president of